So as I step around the vehicle, I want to look underneath for any type of fluid leaks, oil, coolant, or transmission, power steering fluid. As I come up to this side of the vehicle, I have the alternator. The alternator is mounted securely. I don't see any missing nuts or bolts. I don't see any bare, frayed, or burnt wiring, and the wiring looks to be secure. My hoses. I'm checking my hoses to make sure they're secure. There's no cracks, there's no bulges, there's no abrasions from rubbing up against anything. My clamps look to be secure. I'm going to come over to the fuel tank. I'm going to check my fuel tank straps are mounted securely, my cap is on tight, and I'm checking my crossover lines for any type of leaks on top of the gas tank. From there, I'm going to move to my frame, which I can see in between the truck, in between the cab and the rear of the truck. I'm going to check my frame to make sure that I don't see any bends or cracks along the cross members. I don't see any missing nuts or bolts. From there, I'm going to move to the rear of the vehicle and check. I'm going to start with the rear suspension, which is closest to the inside, and work my way out. I will start with the hangers. The suspension is the same as the front, minus the shocks. There are no shocks in the rear of the vehicle. The hangers are mounted securely. I don't see any missing nuts or bolts. I don't see any cracks or damage to the hangers. The springs have not missing, shifted, cracked, or broken. The U-bolts are in place. I don't see any damage or cracks. Nothing is missing. I don't see any missing nuts or bolts. Now in the rear I have 2 tires to check. I want to make sure that those tires aren't rubbing. I want to make sure that there's no debris caught in between the tires. I'm checking the tread on the rear tires. I need to have a minimum of 2/32. I'm also checking for nicks, cuts, bumps, abrasions, and bulges along the sidewalls and the tire. Checking the bead flange to make sure that's okay, along with no cracks, damage, or welded repairs along the flange. On my lug nuts, I want to make sure that they're all in place. There's no cracks radiating out from the lug nut holes. I don't see any shiny threads or rust trails indicating a loose lug nut. My rear hub seal is sealed, and I don't see any signs of leaks. My valve stem is in place. It's secure. There's no damage. I'm going to check the tire pressure on my rear tires.